Hello everyone. So today's video is about the CISSP exam and what's the full meaning of CISSP, Certified Information System Security Professional. And basically I'm just here to talk about the exam structure and just give you some basic information in case you're planning to write this exam. So I must confess that this is like the most difficult or say mentally tasking exam I've ever written, and it's not even based on maybe lack of preparation and all that. It's just how the exam is structured. So for the exam, you get a minimum of 100 questions or a maximum of 150 questions. And for me, I got 150 questions. So, and it's not even about the number of questions you get. Somebody can get 110 questions and pass. Somebody can get 101 questions and fail. Someone else can get 150 questions and pass, and somebody else gets 150 questions and fail. So I think there's a way the algorithm has been written such that it keeps questioning the areas that you fail or you're not performing well, and then until they're able to certify that okay, you have actually failed the exam or passed the exam. So there are 25 unscored items, so they call them the pretest exam questions. So you have, let's say you got 100 questions, 75 of those questions will be scored. That means those are the ones that determine whether you've passed or failed, while the other 25 are the unscored questions. So which means they are not graded. They are just there for maybe their own internal examination or something. So that's that about that. So during the exam, you actually cannot identify which one is the pretext question or which one is the scored exam questions. So the best you can do as a candidate writing the exam is that you answer all the questions as accurately as you can, and then you have 180 minutes, that's 3 hours, for the question. So whether it's 100 or 150, the maximum number of hours you have is 3. So once you start the test, you see at the right side of the computer 18000. So that 180 keeps counting down until you get to 0000. And then of course, if you are lucky and it stops you at say 101, that means you might stop in between, maybe say at 60 or at 50. But I exhausted my time. So I think I only had maybe 2 minutes left because I had to, did all the 150 questions basically. So what else do you need to know? So during the exam, I've written like CISA. For CISA, you can actually go back to your previous question. But for this exam, once you press next, there's no going back. It's forward ever, backward never. So I think that's part of the things that make the exam difficult, because maybe if you've moved to the next question or next 5 questions, you can realize, oh, maybe I should have selected this in the other question, but there's actually no going back. So I think that's one of the things that actually make the exam a bit tasking. So in the next screen, I'll show you, what the typical screen looks like, just a sketch, just so you see that there's one side that shows you the calculator, the timing, the questions, and how the screen basically looks like during the exam. Also for the CISSP exam, you need 700 out of 1000 points to actually pass the exam. So if you get 699, well, sorry, you have failed the exam. So the other thing is that even though the manual says um, you cannot skip an answer, I mean, you cannot skip a question without answering, basically, but I didn't test that because who knows, maybe the question I want to skip will be the one to actually save me and make me pass the exam. So somebody that is bold and 100% sure of what they are doing can actually help us test that. In summary, I've talked about the fact that you have a minimum of 100 questions and a maximum of 150 questions to answer during the exam. And then you, out of those questions, some are pre-test questions while some are scored, but you actually can't decide or you can't determine which one is the scored or which one is the unscored one. And then you need a minimum of 700 out of 1000 points to pass the exam. And then you you cannot actually go back to your previous questions. So thank you so much for listening. In my next video, I will share with you how some content creators, YouTube content creators, have misled us about this CISSP exam. So watch out for my next video. If you've not subscribed, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, like this video, share with your friends, and I'll see you in my next video.